Ferrari 296. That was until the previous owner crashed it, and then I bought it in hopes to rebuild it.
The moment the Ferrari 296 GTB hit the streets, the automotive world treated it like the future of Ferrari performance, a masterpiece combining brutal speed with advanced hybrid technology. But now, the same car that once received endless praise is finally starting to get exposed by car enthusiasts, reviewers, and even loyal Ferrari fans. Beneath the stunning design and unbelievable acceleration, many people are beginning to question whether Ferrari sacrificed its true identity in the pursuit of modern technology. From complaints about the complicated hybrid system and frustrating touch controls, to fears about reliability and long-term ownership costs, the 296 GTB has become one of the most controversial Ferraris in recent history. Some fans believe the legendary motion of Ferrari's naturally aspirated engines has been replaced by computers and electronics, making the car feel less raw and connected than older models. Others argue that the 296 GTB is simply too advanced for traditional Ferrari lovers to accept. Yet despite all the criticism, one thing remains undeniable. When the engine screams to life and the car launches forward with unbelievable force, the 296 GTB still delivers a driving experience powerful enough to remind the world why Ferrari continues to dominate the supercar industry. The Ferrari 296 GTB was supposed to represent the perfect future of Ferrari. When the company first revealed the car, the internet exploded with excitement. Automotive journalists called it revolutionary. Ferrari fans praised the stunning design, the incredible power figures, and the promise of a new generation of supercars that could combine hybrid technology with pure Ferrari emotion. On paper, the 296 GTB looked almost unbeatable. A twin-turbocharged V6 engine working together with an electric motor produced an unbelievable amount of power, making the car faster than many legendary hypercars. Ferrari claimed it was not just about speed, but also about creating a more advanced driving experience. For a moment, it seemed like Ferrari had done the impossible once again. But as more people started driving the car, owning it and living with it every day, cracks slowly began to appear beneath the perfect image. The same car that once looked like the future of Ferrari suddenly became one of the most controversial vehicles the company had ever created. The biggest shock for many Ferrari fans was the engine itself. For decades, Ferrari built its reputation on powerful, emotional engines that sounded like nothing else on Earth. The screaming V8S and V12S became symbols of passion, performance, and racing heritage. But the 296 GTB arrived with something completely different, a hybrid V6. Even before people drove the car, criticism had already started online. Many enthusiasts believed Ferrari was abandoning its soul in order to follow modern environmental rules and industry trends. To traditional fans, reducing the engine size felt almost like betrayal. They argued that a Ferrari should sound aggressive, mechanical, and emotional, not controlled by batteries and software systems. Some even claimed the 296 GTB felt more like a technological experiment than a true Ferrari. Social media became filled with debates between younger fans who loved the innovation and older enthusiasts who believed Ferrari had lost part of its identity forever. AT first, reviewers defended the 296 GTB aggressively. They praised the car's unbelievable performance and claimed critics were simply afraid of change. And honestly, when people actually drove the car, it was difficult not to be impressed. The acceleration was violent. The steering felt razor sharp. The handling was almost supernatural. Ferrari engineers somehow managed to create a hybrid supercar that still felt exciting on twisting roads and racetracks. Journalists described the driving experience as addictive. Some even called it one of the best driving Ferraris ever built. But despite all the praise, a strange pattern started to emerge. Reviewers loved driving the 296 GTB for short periods of time, but owners who spent months with the car began noticing problems that could not be ignored anymore. One of the biggest complaints involved the car's technology. Ferrari attempted to modernize the cabin by replacing many traditional buttons with touch-sensitive controls placed directly on the steering wheel. In theory, the setup looked futuristic and clean. In reality, many owners found it frustrating and distracting. Simple tasks became unnecessarily complicated. Drivers accidentally pressed controls while turning the wheel aggressively. Some functions required too much attention while driving at high speeds. Even experienced reviewers admitted the system could become annoying very quickly, instead of making the driving experience more advanced. Many people believe Ferrari overcomplicated basic features that never needed fixing in the first place. For a company famous for driver-focused machines, this criticism started damaging Ferrari's image among hardcore enthusiasts. Then came the reliability concerns. Modern Ferraris have always been expensive to maintain, but the 296 GTB introduced an entirely new level of complexity because of its hybrid system. Owners started reporting software glitches, warning lights, battery issues, and electrical problems online. Some drivers claimed the car occasionally behaved unpredictably during startup or while switching between electric and combustion power. Others worried about the long-term durability of such an advanced hybrid system once factory warranties expired. The fear became even bigger because replacing or repairing hybrid components in exotic cars can cost enormous amounts of money. Suddenly, people who once dreamed of owning the 296 GTB began questioning whether the car would become a financial nightmare after several years of ownership. The internet made everything worse. Every small issue quickly spread across forums, YouTube channels, and social media platforms. Influencers began creating dramatic videos claiming the Ferrari 296 GTB was being exposed. Some exaggerated problems for views, while others genuinely believed Ferrari rushed the technology too quickly. Headlines became more aggressive every month. Videos discussing Ferrari's biggest mistake, or the problem nobody wants to admit, started attracting millions of views. The narrative slowly changed from excitement to suspicion. Even people who had never driven the car began repeating negative opinions simply because the online conversation had shifted. In today's internet culture, perception can become stronger than reality, and Ferrari suddenly found itself fighting a public relations battle it never expected. Another major issue involved resale values. Traditionally, many Ferrari models hold their value extremely well, especially limited production cars. But the 296 GTB shocked some owners by depreciating faster than expected. The used market became flooded with examples surprisingly quickly after launch. Some buyers worried that hybrid Ferraris would age differently compared to traditional gasoline-powered models. Others feared future maintenance costs would scare away second-hand buyers. Because of this uncertainty, confidence in the market started weakening. For wealthy collectors who treat exotic cars as investments, this became a serious concern. Ferrari vehicles are often purchased not only for passion, but also because of their strong financial reputation. Seeing the 296 GTB struggle in the resale market created even more negative discussion around the car. Still, despite all the criticism, something fascinating kept happening every time someone actually got behind the wheel. Almost everyone admitted the car was astonishing to drive. Even reviewers who criticized the technology or questioned the hybrid system could not deny the raw performance. The 296 GTB felt brutally fast in ways that shocked even experienced supercar drivers. The instant electric torque combined with a turbocharged engine created acceleration so violent that passengers often struggled to describe it properly. On racetracks, the car behaved with incredible precision and confidence. Ferrari engineers somehow managed to hide the weight of the hybrid system remarkably well. Drivers reported feeling deeply connected to the road, especially during aggressive cornering. This created a strange contradiction. The Ferrari 296 GTB was both heavily criticized and heavily admired at the exact same time. Part of the controversy also comes from what the car represents for the future of Ferrari itself. The automotive industry is changing rapidly. Governments around the world are pushing stricter emissions regulations every year. Electric vehicles are becoming more common. Traditional gasoline engines are slowly disappearing. Ferrari understands this reality better than anyone. The 296 GTB was not just another supercar. It was a statement about the company's future direction. Ferrari wanted to prove that hybrid technology could enhance performance rather than destroy emotion. But for many fans, the transition still feels uncomfortable. They worry that the company they fell in love with may eventually abandon everything that made Ferrari special in the first place. In many ways, the criticism surrounding the 296 GTB is not only about the car itself. It is about fear of the future. Some Ferrari loyalists compare the situation to previous controversial models in automotive history. Every generation believed the older cars were more pure, more emotional, and more authentic. When turbocharging first appeared, many enthusiasts complained. When paddle shifters replaced manual transmissions, people said Ferrari was losing its soul. Yet over time, those technologies became accepted. Supporters of the 296 GTB argue the same thing is happening again. They believe people are resisting change simply because the car feels unfamiliar. According to them, future generations may eventually view the 296 GTB as one of the most important Ferraris ever made. The car that successfully bridged the gap between old-school combustion performance and a hybrid future. But critics refuse to back down. Many insist the problem is deeper than simple nostalgia. They argue that technology should enhance emotion, not replace it. To them, the 296 GTB sometimes feels too digital, too controlled, and too calculated compared to older Ferraris that felt wild and unpredictable. They miss the screaming, naturally aspirated engines that delivered emotional experiences impossible to recreate through software and electric assistance. Some owners even admit that while the 296 GTB is objectively faster and more advanced than older Ferraris, it does not always create the same emotional connection. And in the world of exotic cars, emotion matters more than numbers. Ferrari now faces one of the biggest challenges in its modern history. The company must continue evolving to survive in a changing automotive world, but also cannot afford to lose the emotional identity that built its legendary reputation. The 296 GTB sits directly in the middle of this conflict. It represents incredible engineering brilliance, while simultaneously exposing the growing tension between technology and passion inside the supercar industry. Every review, every online argument, and every owner experience adds more fuel to debate. What makes the story even more interesting is that many people criticizing the 296 GTB still secretly admire it. Deep down, even some traditional enthusiasts understand how impressive the car truly is. Few vehicles on Earth can match its combination of speed, handling, design, and innovation. The problem is not that the 296 GTB is a bad car. The problem is that it challenges everything Ferrari fans thought they wanted from a brand. It forces people to confront uncomfortable questions about the future of performance cars. Can hybrid technology truly replace the emotional experience of old-school engines? Can computers and electric motors create the same passion as raw mechanical violence? And most importantly, can Ferrari continue evolving without losing its soul? Only time will answer those questions. But one thing is already clear. The Ferrari 296 GTB is far more than just another supercar. It has become a symbol of the battle between tradition and innovation, emotion and technology, past and future. Some people see it as the beginning of a new Ferrari era filled with groundbreaking performance and intelligent engineering. Others see it as the warning sign of a company slowly moving away from the raw passion that made Ferrari legendary in the first place. Yet no matter which side wins the argument, the Ferrari 296 GTB has already accomplished something very few cars ever achieve. It made the entire automotive world talk. Every launch, every update, every owner story, and every controversy keeps the car in headlines across the internet. Whether people love it or hate it, they cannot stop discussing it. And perhaps that alone proves Ferrari still understands exactly how to build a machine capable of capturing the world's attention. Because at the end of the day, when the road opens up, the engine roars behind the driver and the hybrid system unleashes its full power, the Ferrari 296 GTB still delivers a level of excitement most cars could never dream of reaching. Even its harshest critics often admit the same thing after stepping out of the driver's seat, controversial or not. Ferrari created something unforgettable. The controversy surrounding the Ferrari 296 GTB became even bigger when respected car collectors and industry insiders started quietly sharing their concerns behind the scenes. Some dealerships reportedly noticed that certain buyers who originally rushed to place orders were now becoming hesitant. In the exotic car world, confidence is everything. The moment buyers begin doubting long-term reliability or future resale value, panic spreads incredibly fast. And because Ferrari has always operated in an environment built around exclusivity and prestige, even small signs of uncertainty can create massive consequences. Suddenly, Discussions about the 296 GTB were no longer limited to internet forums or YouTube comment sections. Wealthy collectors, investors, and longtime Ferrari customers were now debating whether the car would eventually become a modern classic or a cautionary tale about the risks of rushing into the hybrid era. What shocked many people most was how divided Ferrari owners themselves became. Some defended the 296 GTB passionately, insisting critics were exaggerating every issue for attention. They argued that no supercar is perfect and that Ferrari has always pushed technological boundaries before other manufacturers. According to them, the 296 GTB represents courage, proof that Ferrari is willing to evolve while competitors play it safe. These owners often describe the car as magical to drive, especially on challenging roads where the combination of electric torque and turbocharged power creates an experience unlike anything else. They insist that once drivers spend enough time behind the wheel, they begin understanding why Ferrari engineers made certain decisions. To these supporters, the 296 GTB is not the death of Ferrari tradition. It is the next chapter, but other owners tell a completely different story. Some describe moments where warning lights suddenly appeared without explanation. Others claim software updates